Disventure Camp is taking over the internet. So, due to the rising popularity of the show, lots of theories started to appear among its fans. What are these theories? And which ones are actually true? Stay tuned because today we're gonna find out. So, here's how things will go. After I analyze each theory, I will put it in one of three categories: probably true, doubtful, and definitely fake. The first theory was brought up by Pokegoddess, and it says that Will is actually Lightning's brother, who is outshined by Lightning and tries to win Disventure Camp in order to make his father recognize him. This is an interesting theory because if we look at their designs, we can see that they have similar jawlines and noses. In terms of their body, they have the same quarterback type of build. Also during the series, the only parent Lightning mentions is his father. On the other hand, Will mentions his mother in one of his greeting videos, so we can assume that their parents split up while they were young, and Will ended up living with his mother in a dangerous neighborhood, while Lightning ended up with his father, preparing him to follow in his footsteps. I could see this theory being real, especially with all the connections between Total Drama and Disventure Camp characters, so this theory is probably true. The following theory was given by the most sane Gwen fan. They said that Gwen and Aiden are siblings or at least cousins. They're for sure not siblings because we know what Gwen's brother looks like. Plus, Aiden is transgender. Yet they might be cousins since they have similar skin color and facial features. But this theory is still doubtful. This next theory was given by Owen Wilson, and it says that Miriam was the old lady you'll push down on the escalator. This is an interesting theory, since at some point during Disventure Camp All Stars, Yule does mention,
"You look just like this old woman I got accused of pushing down an escalator."
We know that after Miriam won the million, her and Jake went on a trip, but they had to cut it short due to some health complications regarding Miriam. We can assume they went to South Korea, and that is where she got pushed down the escalator by Yule, so this theory is probably true. AWM brought up the following theory, and it says that Drew would have spoken if he would have gotten further in the competition. This is an interesting theory, since we know that Drew has selective mutism, which is an anxiety disorder characterized by the inability to speak in social situations. So I guess if Drew would have felt more comfortable with his team, he might have started to speak. That means this theory is probably true. The Code Mister says that Courtney and Tom know each other from high school. We know that a guy called Tom helped Courtney record her audition tape for Total Drama Island.
You promised you'd take my audition for Total Drama Island, Tom!
However, if we compare his voice with Tom's voice from Disventure Camp,
I've got to get to gym class.
We didn't catch it to be our team's mascot, Gabby.
we quickly figure out that this theory is definitely fake. Cake Crybaby says that Tess is Trent's daughter, yet she is an orphan because Trent somehow died in an accident. Their biggest physical similarity is probably the color of their hair. Fortunately, Tess doesn't have Trent's big-ass forehead. However, I don't really think that this theory can be true, since both of Trent's parents are described as decent people who would have taken care of Tess after their son's death. So this theory is definitely fake. Simply Woodland brought up the following theory, and it says that Hunter is Dawn's child. Well, they have the same eye color and the same pale skin color, yet during the series, Hunter mentioned that his mother had depression and took paroxetine even before he was born. But considering Dawn's constant state of inner peace, there are small chances for that to happen. So this theory is doubtful. M Gaming says that the boss Oliver sees in the first episode of season 2 is actually Chris. Well, that was actually the original plan. In the first version of the episode, the creators wanted a black silhouette of Chris to appear during that scene. However, it was later scrapped to avoid further complications with Fresh TV. So this theory is probably true. Now, this is probably one of the most popular theories out there, and it was brought up to us by Julia's Mascara. The theory is that Fiore is actually Heather and Alejandro's child. First things first, we know that Heather and Alejandro became an official couple during Total Drama All Stars, and there are exactly 7 years between then and the time when the beta version of Disventure Camp was released. Fiore is only 6 years old. See the coincidence here? Also, thanks to Gamikara, I have found out that in one of her greeting videos, Fiore had said that her dad is a veterinarian and her mom is an architect. Although Kara used this info as a counter-argument, I think that this only strengthens this theory. Alejandro really had a good relationship with the animals, and I could actually see him as a veterinarian. Also, regarding Heather being an architect, she did mention that she wanted to rule Europe and shape it according to her will. I guess if you can't do it by force, you can just become an architect and do it legally. Also, let's face it, only two evil geniuses could give birth to such an evil child. However, this theory has one big flaw. Alejandro is Hispanic, Heather is Asian, and Fiore is part Italian. Sadly, this theory remains doubtful. Nathan said that Izzy used to babysit Gabby while she was a kid, and that's the reason why she's as crazy as Izzy. That's actually a fun theory to think about. Let's go a little deeper into the rabbit hole. We know that Gabby has a special connection with Ellie, but if we look at both Ellie and Izzy, we can see that they're both gingers with green eyes. So we can assume that one of the reasons behind Gabby's friendship with Ellie is the fact that Ellie reminds Gabby of her connection with Izzy from the time she was a child. I like this theory a lot, so I think it's probably true. The next theory was brought up by Wayne, and it says that Lake is actually a transgender character. Well, one of the main reasons behind this theory is related to Lake's anorexic eating habits. It is pretty well known that trans individuals suffer more from eating disorders than straight people. Also, these anorexic eating habits can be related to a form of body dysmorphia. In this scenario, because of her strict parents, she probably wasn't allowed to transition. That would have only accentuated her hatred for her parents and the body she is trapped in, making her eating disorder even worse. However, during the series, Blake didn't show any specific signs related to her transition, so in the end, this theory is doubtful. Mike says that Jared may still be alive. Since Jared was only taken to prison at the end of Disventure Camp, I would assume you're referring to Jensen. In one of the original versions of Season 2, Jensen was supposed to be the Night Butcher before he was switched with Carol.
Comuníquese con la policía local.
So this theory is probably true. Ghost Cat brought up the following theory, which says that Crystal decided to make the third season as crazy and as good as possible, because at the same time, Total Drama Reboot was playing on TV, being their main competition. That's an interesting theory. However, if we look at one exclusive clip from Disventure Camp Season 2, we can find out that Chris was actually in a hospital bed, so this theory is definitely fake. Alexa came up with the next one, which says that Scott and Courtney could be Ellie's parents. She does give me some Scott vibes. Also, her strategy and behavior during Disventure Camp All Stars kinda reminds me of Courtney's behavior from Action. However, this theory has a flaw. We know that Ellie comes from a family with financial problems, yet Courtney is one of the most success-driven contestants that ever stepped into Total Drama. So, this theory is doubtful. The next theory was written by Simodragon, and it says that Rosa was supposed to be in All Stars instead of Ashley. The reason behind this theory is that in Disventure Camp All Stars, Ashley takes the same role Rosa had in Season 2, which is being the support character. Yet although Rosa got further in the competition, Ashley was a more popular character, that being the decisive factor in the final decision regarding the cast. So, this theory is probably true. Moving to the next theory, this one was written by Maddie, and it says that Jensen and Chef know each other. Well, in the beta version, Chef and Jensen actually met at the end of the season, and even fought each other. So this theory is probably true. The following theory was given by Jamarian, and it says that Ezekiel is actually dead, as it was said in the beta version. Well, Tom McGillis said that these days, Ezekiel is the CEO of a very successful company.
And Ezekiel, I want to think, is doing incredibly well. He's a CEO of a large multinational corporation.
So this theory is definitely fake. The next theory was written by Tomato Juice Production, and it says that Allie and Sam are related. They have similar hair color and similar interests, so there is a chance that they can be related. I only hope that Sam wasn't one of the people interested in her bunny picture. Yet, this theory remains doubtful. This next theory was written by Ghost Knight, and it says that Alec could be a close relative of Noah. Although they are very alike in terms of personality, most of their physical traits are different, so the chance of them being related is kinda low. So this theory is doubtful. So, There it is, guys. What are your Disventure Camp theories? Make sure to tell me in the comments. Take care and see you next time with a brand new video.